We did.
I fell down and broke.
Good evening and welcome to the Downers Grove Township meeting of the Board of Trustees for Thursday, August 18th, 2022. I'm calling the meeting to order. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Lorraine is not here today, so Susan, will you take call roll for us?
Trustee Okram,
Here.
Trustee Stoll,
Here.
Supervisor Coltrap,
Here.
Attorney Alangi,
Here.
Trustee Riccadati,
Here.
and Trustee Ferguson. Here.
All right, we have a quorum. Next up on our thing and on the agenda is public comment. Residents may speak on township issues in general. Just as a reminder, residents will have an opportunity to speak during public comment. Comments are directed to the supervisor, who has said comments to be kept to 3 minutes and address the Downers Grove Township issues. Any questions or comments can also be emailed to supervisor@dgtownship.com, who will read them in the public comments. Please refrain from profanity and personal attacks directed at people, and please be respectful of all residents. We remind you that public comments are not a Q&A session. Thank you. I do actually have one to start with. It was emailed to me. It says, hello, in 2018, then Republican Governor Bruce Rauner signed an executive order abolishing nepotism in state government hiring. I urge the Downers Grove Township Board to adopt a similar policy. Also, many of the people who benefit from the township services are elderly, and it's difficult for them to attend meetings sometimes. For transparency and the consideration of those who use its services, I believe the township should go back to about those of the meetings as I mentioned. Do we have any other public comments? With that, I will take a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting from July 21st, 2022 as presented.
So moved.
Second. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions, anything about anything you want to go over? With that, we need a roll call vote. Susan, will you do the roll?
Trustee Okram,
Yes.
Trustee Stoll, aye. Trustee Riccadati,
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson, aye. Supervisor Coltrap.
Aye. Motion approved. Next up, we have a motion to approve the trustee audit and approval of bills and claims as presented. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
And do I hear a second?
Second.
Any comments? Susan, can we have a roll, please?
Trustee Okram,
Aye.
Trustee Stoll, aye. Supervisor Coltrap,
Aye.
Trustee Riccadati,
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson. Aye.
And that passes. Next up on the agenda is the motion to approve continuation of terms for senior advisory board members Gay Wagner, Bruce Wright, and Pat Clebino to July of 2025, and to approve Heather Lippy to fulfill the remaining term of Sherry Henderson until July of 2023. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is that Dave that seconded?
Yes.
Thank you.
And any comments? And just so we know, Senior Advisory Board is a board that works with the township. There are a lot of members on that board that work for various things in the town, such as we have some government people, library people, people that work at retirement homes. And we talk a lot about what's going on in the senior area for the town and for the township. So with that, Susan, would you take roll?
Trustee Okram,
Aye.
Trustee Stoll, aye. Supervisor Coltrap,
Aye.
Trustee Riccadati,
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson.
Okay, the
Can I
motion.
make a comment?
Yes, sure. Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I have a roster with the Township Senior Advisory Committee members, if anyone's interested.
because it lists the organization they represent, it's got their term limits and the phone numbers on here, so. anyway.
You should all have that.
Oh, okay.
It should be attached at the back of your packet.
Yeah, I can read that off. Okay, good enough.
And I think each of those.
You're right, we did get that. I'm just calling attention to it.
They do a great job to help us out. Thank you. So next up is the supervisor's report. I'm going to start off, actually, did we vote on the motion? We did, yes.
Yes, you did.
Supervisor's report is next up, and I'm going to read something first off from Sheila, who's our GA, head of the general assistance, kind of give you an update on what's been going on. We have a couple new GA services, LIWAP, which is Low Income Water Assistant Program. We are a new intake location for that, so anyone who is having issues with their water can come and we can help them out. LIHEAP starts on September 1st. LIHEAP is Low Income Heat Energy Assistant Program. It goes every year from the beginning of September until May 1st. Last year, Downers Grove Township received over $7,900 with our vendor agreement with DuPage County. So it's really a county thing. The money doesn't come from us, but we do all the processing for them. And they pay us so much for every one that gets approved. We are also working with Southwest Suburban Immigration Project. We're assisting this week a resident from Venezuela who is unemployed, who needed unemployment help, food pantry information, and housing help since they were homeless. We are also new doing access to Page. We are trained to help residents with their online portal for health insurance for people who are uninsured. We actually had a person that took advantage of that this week. Our general assistance department is also an intake location for rental assistance with Salvation Army. We're newly trained to also help residents apply for NICOR Energy Aid Program. So going back to the general assistance with the Salvation Army, if a person comes to us and needs help with their rent, we will pay a portion of that. They have to go out and find other organizations to help them out. We, of course, do help them with like Salvation Army. A lot of the churches give money too. So we just help bring them together and help them get their rent paid for. This past month, we served a total of 88 clients and paid out over $2,600 in general assistance funds. So that is that part of what I wanted to talk about. Township Center, Meals on Wheels has been using our kitchen now for, I think this is the start of the 4th week. We serve over 55 meals a day are delivered from there. On or about September 13th, community dining is going to begin here in the Township Center. So anyone over the age of 60 can come in and have a meal at lunchtime. We're going to be doing events before that and after it, so they can stay home early and play. On Tuesdays we do board games, so they can come in and play games, have a meal. Afterwards, we are going to start doing bingo at least once a month, so that'll be starting in September. As I said, we do game time, which is Tuesday mornings. We're going to do it the 16th, 23rd, and 30th of this month. I guess it's actually the 23rd and 30th that are left. We are doing iPad classes in conjunction with the Downers Grove Public Library and Park District. People's Resource Center and the Township are working together to do a computer program. It started yesterday for 7 weeks. It meets every Wednesday from 1:30 to 3. Also, we're doing we did a seminar here yesterday for what the township does. So it gives residents an idea of the different things. And we actually did it in conjunction with People's Resource Center. So they came in and talked about the things that they're doing for people, and we're doing it as well. We will continue to do those. It gives people an idea about what they can do here at the Township Center. So, Senior Survival Skills was held here today. It's the third Thursday of every month. Today's was Let's Connect. It was ideas on, since so many people have spent the last 2 years, you know, at home or away from a lot of people, it's just coming up with new ideas on how to get back into swimming camps. We had over 25 people at that today. Then we also have some watercoloring classes coming up. Smart driver class, September 29th and 30th. Last time we had this here, we had 30 people at it. It's a 2-day class from 12 to 4. Lunch is going to be served, and it's a great way to save money for seniors, to save money on their car insurance, because you do get a discount on that. But it's a 2-day class that teaches proven driving techniques to help keep you and your loved ones safe.
What age that encompasses?
I believe it's 65 and older. I will let you know for sure. And again, we're doing crafts and games here too. So there's a lot going on here at the Township Center. A lot more will be coming on as well in the near future. And
How do you get the word out for attendees?
So, good question. We have quite a big email list, so we do email blast.
But if you're taking a new computer class, you don't know how to use a computer, like for a computer class, I think there's no email.
Right. So we are putting notices at libraries. We are putting notices at quite a few of the retirement homes that are around here. We are also ramping up our social media. So obviously, again, if you don't have a computer, you don't have that. But you know, we do have various ways we're trying to get things out to people. So a lot of it is going to be word of mouth. We have had people come. The first couple of game days have not had a lot of people here. But you know, every time you tell people, hey, just tell your friends, bring your friends.
Well, it's new.
It's new, right? So it's we're just trying to get
The
that.
mailings would be real expensive, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's, I mean, there's
flyers
like,
and stuff are best.
Grocery store.
So we have flyers that we can hand cross-reference,
yes,
different events. So if it's a bingo, we can hand out flyers for everything else.
correct.
Vice versa.
So what I was reading off of here is our thing we put out every month. And it's a packet, and there's some on the table over there. We always have them at every event we do. We have them there, we hand them out to people. So again, it is brand new. It is a way for us to just start trying to spread the word. You know, anybody that comes, we're trying to say, hey, tell 2 or 3 people and come. Again, going to some of the senior homes. There's some in downtown Downers that we go to the management company and say, hey, we've given them the PDF of it so that they can give it to anybody that they know that lives there with their email. Anybody else we're leaving, if there's 10 people that don't have email addresses, we leave 10 of these so that they can see it.
I don't remember, is there a budget line that we have for maintenance and upkeep for this facility as we start to wear and tear on it?
There is.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
it's actually done something.
Yeah, there's building maintenance on it.
Okay, and so we'll start to chip away at that as needed, is that how that works?
Yes, and one of the things that we're doing, some of the events we're asking, so like, I'll go to the community dining, we're going to ask for a donation. We're not going to require that people pay. We're going to have donations at most of our events, so people can, if they want to chip in, pay and help, so that we can clean. We're going to have additional janitorial expenses because he's going to have to be here, if we have something in here every day, he's going to have to be here, or someone's going to have to be here to wipe down the tables every night.
Is that factored into the previous budget?
Yes.
That's something we have to look at.
It is, and then it's going to be something that as I go into the budget year for March, definitely, not knowing exactly what the expenses were, not knowing exactly when we were opening up the building, it was kind of hard to do. But, you know, yeah, it's part of the budget.
Okay, that's a good thing.
There's also a senior fair at Drury Lane, August 23rd through 24th. I think that's through AARP. That's who sponsors it.
So with that, I will move on. We do not have an assessor's report, so I'll talk to you about the highway report. In the past month, the highway department has been working on the following projects. We had our grade all contractor for wheat and the crew retouch, replace culverts and install French drains in the Pleasantdale subdivision, in the Downers Grove Gardens subdivision, and in the Liberty Park subdivision. We also used some of the spoils to backfill behind the curb on Graceland Court off of Plainfield Avenue. This created a less steep drop-off and made the edge of the road safer. Our tree service ground stumps in approximately 30 locations, and the crew picked up the stump grindings and restored the holes with the grass and seed. The crew also restored the right-of-way damage from several accidents, projects we have finished, and a few spots at Bruce Lake that we missed from the tornado cleanup last year. Our tree crew took down several trees off of our removal list, as well as several emergency damage or fallen limbs called in by residents. They also continue to remove trees damaged in the Rose Hill subdivision from last year's tornadoes. These were trees that were less severely damaged in the storm and that the crews made safe at the time by removing all the dangerous hanging limbs. These trees were too damaged to save and were marked for removal and put on our schedule for removal when we had more time. Several days were dedicated to patching potholes throughout the Township, and a couple of the days were used to clean inlets prior to rain events. Crews also weed-whacked problem areas on the roads and trimmed back a few overgrown areas where the brush was hitting mirrors of the vehicles. Several signs were installed on Township roads. These were due to traffic accidents or fading from usual wear and tear. IDOT completed their work on Clarendon Hills Road Bridge, and the road was open again late last week. Residents from the Hinswood subdivision asked for help by placing temporary no parking signs in their subdivision ahead of Darien Fest. We put several signs out at strategic intersections and asked for the Sheriff's Department to help with no parking enforcement. That was for Andy Anderson. And with that, does anyone else have any old or new business to discuss?
I just want to compliment Andy Anderson for these reports every month. I love these.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like he's here. Tells you everything that's gone on in the last month, and it's detailed. So I just want to say it's nice.
And we have nothing to go into open meetings or to close session for. So with that, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
Second. I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
Dave.
And that's just a voice vote, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We will see you on Thursday, September the 15th.